For those of you who don't know me very well, again, hi, my name is Will. I'm a AI engineer, game AI engineer, not the bad one, at a video game company. And tonight I wanted to do a presentation about why game development has me fucked up. Now, before we start, I do want to start with a small disclaimer, just in case anybody who works at my job ever sees this. This is a joke, LOL, I love my job, it's great. Don't worry about it. Don't bring it up during Teams meetings again. So I'm going to be talking mainly about the 5 different fields that I can categorize easily in game development, how they work, and worse, how they interact with each other. I consider the 5 main fields to be engineering, design, art, audio, and production. These 5 fields unite together to got me fucked up. We're going to start with what I know best, which is engineering and what they do. Now, engineering is the most important field, or it was back in like 1998. A good engineer can take a project and can solve a bunch of impossible tasks to bring you something that you never even really thought was possible before, to bring you advanced AI systems, to bring you hordes of enemies, to bring you graphics that you never even thought was possible on technology thousands of times more powerful than what they flew to space on. And realistically, most engineers are just less creative designers who know how to use Google.
That's true. And
that's where I managed to score my way into this industry. But a lot of engineering really can be defined by one simple flowchart. Is it someone else's job? It's your job now.
Yay.
So, in terms of the 4 other fields and what they think of engineering, you have designers. Do you know that joke about the 6-year-old who waddles up to their dad and is like, I need some cardboard for a school project. And the dad asks, when does this project due? And the kid says, tomorrow at 9 a.m. That's what designers look at engineers as my report is due tomorrow. They will go to engineers with all of their problems about 2 weeks after they should have gone to the engineers. Artists will look at the engineers and will say, hey, just to let you know, my entire job depends on you doing your job, and you said that you would be done like 12 weeks ago. Where's all of my stuff, and why is it not in the game yet? Audio will look at engineers, and thankfully they have a very unadversarial relationship. It's just, is my stuff in? Okay, fuck off. And then of course there is the people who somehow like engineers the most, at least by volume of messages, which is production, which come to engineers and just know them essentially as plus or minus 6 weeks, because there's nothing that engineers love to do more than scope the development timeline, because everything relies on us, because see the previous slide. Now, when we get to design and what they do, they are the most important field, at least according to Papa Production. They are the field which everyone has to manage their schedule around, no matter what. Now, a good designer will come to you and will give you the best, most elegant solutions that you can ever think of when it comes to a problem. They will bring something to you that is so obvious that you're like, why didn't I think about that? And they will make many different complex ideas all work together in a way that you didn't even really think was possible before they actually got their hands on it. But really, most designers are 12 different fields in a trench coat, and the problem comes when none of those different fields can actually communicate with each other. So you make 56 different games all at the same time. But don't worry, they can design 16 different mechanics in 5 minutes. They just will refuse to write anything down. Here we have the difference. I wanted to illustrate this with how to design a ladder. We have a good designer and a bad designer. Do not ask me about God. Now, when it comes to the other fields and what they actually think of designers, there's the engineers who look at designers and think, can I just have any documentation about what it is that I'm actually supposed to be doing? There's the artists who look at designers and they go, you know that little feature you just added is 12 weeks of work, right? There's audio who look at designers and go, you know that little feature is going to be 200 more assets, right? And then of course there's production, who listen to the problems of the engineers, who listen to the problems of the artists, who listen to the problems of audio and go, don't worry, I will bully everyone into doing what you want. Of course, because design is the most important field. But then we get to art. and what they do. Now, art is the most important field, at least according to the executives. A good artist will show a mastery over color palettes, over themes. They can tie your whole game together in a way that is hard to even write about. People will argue over good paintings for centuries, let alone all the art and complex work that goes into tying a whole game together. The problem is that that skill is wasted on video games. They can craft beautiful assets for 12 different games and themes, according to whatever the designers, engineers, and audio people ask for. The problem is that we're working on one game, and they will inevitably take a shot at the wrap-up party for every 8-week-long asset they worked on that doesn't actually make it into the final game. Here's a quick image of a meme about designers, artists. We'll get that in soon. The feature is still being worked on. When it comes to the other other fields and what they think about currently working on, we'll be able to get it in time. We have audio, who is just their old war buddy because someone has to, because of the problems of the producers. Who will always go to artists and say, I know we have 2 weeks left in the milestone, but hey, let's talk about audio and what they do. Now, audio is the most important field, according to anybody who actually pays attention and knows shit. But when it comes to what audio does, they can weave together masterful soundscapes. They can glue half the project together in things that you don't even notice at first point. It takes a lot of work to make the effects for weapons, the sound effects of characters, even something so simple that most other fields would never think about. Footsteps on a metal floor versus a ceramic floor is the type of thing that no one ever thinks of until it's too late, unless you're a good audio person. Of course, when it comes to how they actually do that, I have no fucking idea. Here's a good representation about what audio work actually is. You will notice the black box. Yeah, that's something. And when it comes to what the other fields actually feel about audio, engineers are like, oh yeah. We then have the designers who are like, oh yeah. Fuck this shit. Then, of course, we get to the old war buddy, the artist who has to care about them because someone has to. Because really, someone has to think about the audio people. Who's gonna do it? Production? Remember that audio exists? Now, finally, we get to production, who is the most important field, according to themselves. A good producer will be the only reason anything actually gets done in a project. We all know the people in a project who just want to work and perfect and not think about what anyone else is doing. A good producer can tie a whole team together. A good production team can tie a whole team together and actually get shit done, good, and out the door on time. The problem with production is that they're also the reason that nothing ever gets done, because what has to get done could change on a minute-to-minute basis. They just like a lot of shiny objects on the floor. Typically, it's whatever designers have mentioned in the last 5 femtoseconds, and they will just bob between the different bits and bobs at any given time. Now, when it comes to how everyone else actually feels, engineers, artists, designers will all look at production and be like, wait, I have how much time to do that? You told me this now? Wait.
Audio.
Yeah.
The audio person died.
Hang on, wait. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, sorry. I didn't think about them. Now, in conclusion, yeah, it's pretty fun. That's it. Do I have any questions?
How's it going?